My name is Greg Owenby, and I am a high school social studies teacher. My hobby is motorcycles, scooters, pretty much anything motorized and two wheels. Unless you ride, you just don't understand. From a teenager, I just had this desire to ride a motorcycle on the street. I actually had dreams about it. I bought a cheap bike, and it literally changed my life. It's just the freedom, feeling the wind and the temperature change and the different smells and things. It's just, at this point in my life, I would say it's very therapeutic. I live maybe 5 miles away from school, so I'll ride everything that I have to school. It's funny because my kids are like, Mr. Owenby, we saw you riding your moped. I'm like, that's not a moped. It's a scooter, and it's not just a scooter, it's a Vespa. It's like the ultimate scooter that you can have. There are debates online about what's the difference between a moped, a scooter, a motorcycle. They all have two wheels, but a motorcycle usually has a larger engine and can go, more than 25, 35 miles an hour, and has gears where you can shift gears with the clutch with your left hand, and you're shifting gears most often with your left foot. Scooters, typically, your clutch is here and you shift with your hand as well. But most scooters nowadays are like grab and go, and they just take off, and you don't have to shift gears at all. And then mopeds, to me, pedals, a moped has pedals. In America, we love big things. We love big motorcycles. And I have big motorcycles, but I actually love my small bikes better. And it's fun. I mean, it's hard to be intimidating and take yourself too seriously when you're on a little scooter putting around the city. When people ask, how many do you actually have? I'm like, more than 20, probably. I have different bikes that do different things, but I also appreciate older bikes and vintage bikes. But I appreciate scooters, and I want to experience all the different types of bikes and scooters that I can. Since I know how to work on them, I'm lucky enough that I buy them cheap. I'll rescue them from fields and barns and stuff, and then spend a lot of time and some money and get them back on the road again and enjoy them. And then every once in a while I'll sell one. I keep keeping way too many, I think, right now at this point. I don't know if I have a problem, My wife is well aware I can't hide bikes from her, but she rides too. And my son and my oldest child, my whole entire family rides. And so they appreciate it. And so they actually depend on me to keep their bikes going. When you go online and you're like, well, look, this guy has 50 bikes. At least I'm not like that, So we are at Chaos 3, I think, Scooter Rally in Lumont, Virginia. And we are about ready to find out where we're going on our ride. We got about a 2-hour ride, I think. And I'm guessing maybe 100 scooters or more are going to try to ride around the mountains here and all come back, hopefully safely. So it's nice meeting people that share the same passion, the goofiness of it and not taking ourselves seriously. And often they're older adults, it seems like, not a ton of young people, but they're older people, maybe their children are grown and they have some extra money, and maybe it's a midlife crisis kind of thing, but they just enjoy life, so. I do love my motorcycle friends, but there's just something about the scooter people. I'm like, I found my tribe, these people, again, they're very diverse, all types of people, and very open-minded and welcoming. And it's about enjoying the company and enjoying the machines and the camaraderie. And a scooter is just, it's kind of silly, and I'm much more reckless when I'm on my scooter because you kind of can be. You can be kind of a hooligan. It is nice to be with people that appreciate things like that. I unfortunately had an accident 3 years ago, and it was beautiful. The sun was going down, it was just starting to cool off, and I was getting on a highway to come back home, and on the on-ramp, it was a buck. I mean, I saw it out of the corner of my eye. It hit me, and so I didn't hit it. It literally hit me and took me off the bike, and so I broke my leg and cracked some bones here and there. Got a little bit of road rash, but I think things happen for a reason. The amazing thing about a Vespa, again, is the clutch is up here, but so is the shifter. So you do not need to use your left leg to do anything, right? And so I would put my crutches in the sidecar, and I had a cast on my leg, and I would get up on that Vespa and kickstart it and ride around. And my wife would come home and she's like, you were riding it, weren't you? I was like, yeah, I have to, so. But it could happen. And we know every time we ride, I worry about my family riding. Of course I do. And people are like, you know what, you could die. But I'm like, yeah, but I can live though. Like, I live. When you ride a bike, you're living. I mean, you are not just like getting through, you're actually really living, you know? And that's the risk that all of us take when we get on our bikes. But that's why I mean, you gotta wear the gear. I mean, if it wasn't for that gear, I would have been messed up probably a lot worse. And so as a teacher, you know, teaching is it's tough, you know, it's tougher now than I think it ever has been. It's very frustrating. And so having some sort of release that is so far from teaching, work on scooters and work on motorcycles, and then go to these rallies and enjoy and show off the machines. Like, I'm so proud of like the you know, I've brought things back from the dead that you don't see very often. And so when I show up on my Vespa with a sidecar, people are like, oh my God, you never see one of these with a sidecar. And having people appreciate kind of what you do as well, they understand that, you know, what these scooters mean. Did motorcycles change our lives? Yeah, they did a lot. I live in a rural community and I teach a lot of hunters, and I tell the boys, I'm like, and the girls, I'm like, kill every deer you can see. I love deer. I still, you know, I have deer in my backyard. I have no problem with them. They stay out of the road though.